Hi everybody, welcome to CYC. This is our first episode of Elementary Sunday School. My name is Carol. I would like to remind you all to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, the website, and YouTube. Today our lesson will be the Israelites lost in the wilderness. So as you all know, they were all enslaved in Egypt, and Moses came and rescued them, and they split the Red Sea, and they were all lost in the wilderness. They were over 600,000 only men. That's in addition to all the women and all the children that were along with the men. That's a lot of people. Can you guys imagine? And they were lost in the wilderness for 40 years. 40 years, guys, that's a long time. I'm only 20 years old. That's double my age. Can you guys imagine? How old are you guys? Are you 9, 10, 11? That could be times your age 4 times. That's such a long time. So in that time, they really had to learn to trust in God and depend on God, and God really had to guide them. So I have a question for you. Have you ever gotten lost, or do you ever think about what would happen if you get lost? Imagine your parents left you in the middle of the road and they told you to find your way home. Because the Israelites were lost in the wilderness, and they were expected to find the promised land. God had promised them that He's going to take them to Canaan. So they're lost in the wilderness for 40 years, and they had nowhere to go. They didn't know how to find the way there. Just like you didn't know how to find the way home if you were dropped off in the middle of the road. You know, so God had to guide them. So He had pillars of fire and cloud to guide them throughout the way. So you guys can see this on the picture, right? You guys know what a pillar is? You see how it comes all the way from the ground, all the way to the heavens. It's very long and it's very high. And whenever those pillars moved, it moved. And whenever it stopped, they stopped because they listened. God was showing them where to go. All the sands look the same. They can't tell, oh, that sand mountain looks a little different than that sand mountain. No, they can't. They all look the same. All the sand looks the same. So they had no idea where to go. So God was leading them. You guys saw what those look like. So right now we're going to take a short break and we will come right back.
Hi, Clara. Hi, Jack. Have mercy and have kindness in your heart, so then you could go and help people. The disciples cried out in fear. What could this be? The stone hit the giant's forehead and Goliath crashed down to the ground. This story is called Noah's Ark.
What's an ark?
An ark is like a big boat or ship. I hope you guys learned something new, just like Jack did. See you next time with another story.
Bye, guys!
Welcome back, everybody. So we will continue our story. So as we said, they are lost in the wilderness for 40 years, okay? Can you guys imagine? As we said, that's a long time. When they left Egypt, they had packed food and animals and things to eat. But as they were lost, they didn't have, the food started to run out, and they started getting angry at Moses, and they started getting angry at God. And they said, why did you bring us here? Did you bring us out here to die? In Egypt, we were fine, we were comfortable, we were together, but at least we had food to eat. We were slaves, sure we were slaves, but we were okay, we were living, we were surviving. We weren't lost. We at least had our homes and we had a place to stay every day. And they all started to complain, and they got really, really angry at Moses and at God. Moses got really upset with the people. He said, do you guys not know how to trust God? Do you not know how to depend on Him? Have you not learned that He's here to save you? So he went to God and he started praying, and he said, God, your people are hungry. You need to provide for them. So when Moses asked God for that, God listened, and He had mercy on His people. So when they were sleeping, when they would wake up in the morning, they would see manna that fell on the ground, and when they would wake up, they would find it on the ground, and God told them to collect it and eat it. So when they would collect the manna, and God told them they only have to take enough for that day. So those people who didn't listen, the people that did not listen, if they collected extra food for the next day, it went bad and it rotted because they did not listen and obey to God. But every day God would provide them with the manna because He always took care of them. However, on the 7th day, God told them this is the Sabbath and you don't get to work. So He told them the day before, on the 6th day, you have to collect enough for both days. Not just one, but two, because they had to keep enough for the next day. But do you guys remember we just said that when they took extra for another day, the food went bad? With the exception of the 6th day, God planned it so that for that one day, if they took double the amount, it would be enough for both days. And people started complaining again, and they said they wanted meat rather than just this bread that they didn't understand. So God had sent them quail, and this quail is like a bird. So the quails would fly and they would have to collect them and eat their meat. And that's how God provided them with food, and that's how He took care of them every single day throughout the 40 years. And just like God provided them with food, eventually the people got thirsty. And when they got thirsty, they went again to Moses, and once again they started complaining. Moses, did you bring us out here to die? We were fine in Egypt. Sure, we were slaves, but we had water to drink. We weren't thirsty. We weren't lost in the desert. And once again they complained, and once again Moses got really upset. He said, have you not learned to trust God yet? Have you not learned that He will take care of you? He split the Red Sea. So when Moses went and prayed to God, He told him, take your staff and strike the rock, just like you will see on the picture. And water came out of a rock, and the people were able to drink. And that's how God provided them with water every day of the 40 years. Isn't that crazy, guys? Food was falling out from the heavens and water was coming out of a rock, but God was taking care of His people. And they had to learn to trust in Him. Every time they doubted Him and they complained, but they learned to trust in Him. So this is how we can apply this to our lives. We have to remember that whatever difficult thing is going around us or whatever is happening, we have to learn to trust in Him, because this is God's plan. So just like we have difficult times going on around us. We are not necessarily going to school because of this virus that's around us everywhere. We're not necessarily allowed to always leave our houses. And we can be asking God, why are you doing this? We were fine. We were fine able to go out every day and hang out with our friends and go to school. Why are we stuck at home? Why are we not able to do the things we used to do anymore? Just like the Israelites were asking about when they were slaves in Egypt. They were slaves, but they wanted to go back to where they were. And we sometimes doubt God and we ask Him, why is this also happening to us? We want to go back to where we were. But we have to learn to trust God, because just like He took care of the Israelites when they were lost in the desert, He's also always taking care of us. So let's learn the memory verse for today. Are you guys ready? So repeat after me, okay? It goes, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Let's say it one more time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. This is Proverbs 3:5. Two more times, okay? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. Remember to be repeating the verse throughout the day so you don't forget it and it always stays in your memory. And this is very important, to always trust in God. We're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to do the craft for today.
Mental health and why it's so important.
Mutual communication between those two people.
We are going to speak about how to set healthy boundaries between mothers and daughters.
Mental health is almost equivalent, if not more important than physical health.
Having a problem is just so heavy and weight on us.
It's not just about friendship.
Push myself to learn more about Christianity, why we believe what we believe, why we do what we do.
If you can't talk about it, you can't get over it.
Our priests are wonderful leaders. They are very strong spiritual leaders.
Alright everybody, now it's time for the craft. So we are going to do, as you can see, here we're gonna take some supplies and we're gonna do this picture that you see right here. So you're gonna need a paper, you're gonna need some cotton balls, you're gonna need some markers to color, and a glue stick or liquid glue. Okay, so as you can see, here it is. So I'll demonstrate how we can do this, okay? You guys can follow my instructions. So we're gonna take a piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half. So you're gonna take your paper and you're going to fold it. Okay, and then once you open up the paper, you can take a marker and we're gonna have one side for the clouds and one side for the fire. So with your marker, you can draw clouds, and they can be big and they can fill up the entire side of the page. Just go down in a column. Just like that. Okay, and since the clouds come out throughout the day, then we can only put here a sun. So that way indicates that the pillar of cloud came out throughout the day. And then on the other side, we're gonna do the fire. So you guys can draw either big or small flames. Here on this one, I have the small flames. On this side, I'm gonna draw big flames. So you can pick whichever one you like most. And we're gonna draw flames to fill up that entire side. Just like that. Okay, and since the pillar of fire only came out at night, so we're gonna draw stars. Just like that. And then we're gonna take our glue stick and we're gonna go to the side with the clouds. So you can take each cloud and fill it up with glue. And you're gonna take the cotton balls and stick it on. Like this, and then once you do the cloud, you move on to the next one. And you fill it up, and you keep going until you fill up the entire column. And then you're gonna have built your pillar of cloud, just like the one we have right here. And then on the side with the fire, you can take an orange marker and start coloring in the fire. Just like that. You guys can also do something else. If you don't want to color and you want to be a little more creative, if you have orange construction paper, you can cut out pieces of the construction paper and glue them on just like you're gluing on the cotton balls. So you guys can, be a little more creative at home. With your yellow marker, you can take and fill in the sun and bring out rays coming out of it. And you can color in the stars. And once you complete the entire picture, it will look like this one. And it will be amazing, and you guys will do such a great job. Good luck doing it. Thank you all for being with us here on this first episode of Sunday School for Elementary. And please follow us every week. Thank you so much.